Welcome to the Best of Watch Mojo, the series that refeatures some of our biggest and best videos that you may have missed.
Fly with me, let's fly away.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Have you ever heard such a sound? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 unique voices in music.
Over the bass and the treble clef, hot like we hit you in the face with the devil's breath.
For this list, we're counting down the most unusual voices of music, whether they come from established pop stars or eclectic indie artists.
You belong to me, tell me, honey, was your heart at rest?
Number 10, Joanna Newsom.
The morning doves were howling us their song of love.
She's long been a prominent name in the indie music scene, but you may recognize this harp-playing musician as the narrator of Paul Thomas Anderson's 2014 film, Inherent Vice.
Well, morning, Sam. Like a bad luck planet in today's horoscope.
While Joanna's voice draws influence from the yesteryear of folk music, it has also been described as childlike, which makes her music stand out amongst the more modern folk artists.
I tried to do well, but I won't be. Will you tell the one that I love to remember and hold me?
A widely critically acclaimed artist, Joanna is also known for her avant-garde approach to songwriting, which is complemented by her remarkable talent on the harp.
I believe in innocence, little darling, start again. I believe in everyone.
Number 9, David Bowie.
I wish you could swim.
Okay, so perhaps you're expecting a Space Oddity joke, but the voice of this glam rocker is far from supernatural.
This is ground control to Major Tom.
Despite the androgynous nature of David Bowie's musical persona, his vocals often tend to be gruff and masculine, yet he still manages to hit the high notes like few others.
Oh, you pretty things. Don't you know you're driving your mom and some bothers to say?
Just as the music takes listeners on a journey, Bowie's voice does as well, through all of its fragility and sometimes chaotic vibratos. Number 8, Joe Cocker.
Hold on, I'll be back for you, it won't be long.
While some of you may only know his voice from the opening credits of The Wonder Years,
Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song.
we can all agree that Joe Cocker has some seriously impressive pipes.
You are so beautiful.
In fact, he often sounded like he was on the brink of death, but that's what lended such an incredible amount of passion to his music. His raspy voice is addictive, and his stage presence was like no other. Whatever the case, nobody could croon like Joe Cocker. Number 7, Ray Charles. As much as musicians like to go on about their self-described soul, here's a visionary man that poured out everything through his unmistakable vocals. It's one thing to watch Ray Charles shred the stage, but it's quite another to close your eyes and take in the poignant sound. He ad-libbed like a true master of the genre, and the rich tone of his natural gift will always be identified with classic American R&B. In 2004, Jamie Foxx famously portrayed the late singer, but not even the most remarkable imitation will ever capture the true spirit of Ray Charles.
Well, I guess if you said so, I then have to pack my things and go.
Number 6, Freddie Mercury.
stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time.
With so many natural performers in the world, it's not often that you'll find someone with just the right amount of theatrics and vocal control. As a lead singer of Queen, Freddie Mercury thoroughly demanded attention with each and every performance, even if his natural voice wasn't too far removed from anyone on Broadway. What made him unique, however, was the technicalities and perfection of his craft, and perhaps even the imperfections. He could produce a heightened sense of drama, yet still pull it back, all through the control of his vocal cords.
I don't wanna stop at all.
Number 5. Billy Corgan. By the early 90s, the sex-crazed musical stylings of glam metal were beginning to drift away, and the sound of alternative music served as an outlet for social outcasts.
Killer in me is the killer in you.
Paving the way for a new musical ideology was the Smashing Pumpkins, with Billy Corgan's gothic vocals announcing the emergence of a new kind of emotional rock star. In all reality, Corgan's vocals are synonymous with 90s rock music, and while some listeners simply loved the sound, he truly was the voice of a generation. Number 4. Bjork.
Stand up. You've got to manage.
If you're familiar with the films of Lars von Trier, well, then you've experienced the beautiful terror that encapsulates his work.
And there's always someone to catch me.
With that being said, von Trier cast the Icelandic singer Bjork for his 2000 film Dancer in the Dark. It's hard to put a label on Bjork's sound because there's really nothing like it, and is most certainly a required taste for some.
I go through all this before you wake.
Believe it or not, she's been on the indie scene since the 80s, as she once fronted the Sugar Cubes before venturing off on a wildly successful solo career. Number 3. Michael Jackson. One day, people will discover a new artist and say, hey, he sounds like Justin Timberlake. But what they really mean is, he sounds like Michael Jackson. As the original king of pop, MJ entertained us with a variety of levels, for better or for worse. However, no one can deny the vocal imprint he left on popular music. With his trademark ad-libs, MJ created his own unique brand, and though he's remembered as an emotional soul, songs like Billie Jean and Smooth Criminal produced a sound that was the equivalent of a musical exclamation point. In other words, his pronounced vocals created a visceral experience, whether it was a pop ballad or dance jam. Number 2. Bob Dylan.
Early one morning the sun was shining, she was lying in bed, wondering if she changed it all, if her hair was still red.
Today, this man's voice isn't in the best shape, yet his music continues to inspire legions of fans.
Maggie calls Fleetfoot, face full of black soot, talking at the heat, put plants in the bedbook.
Okay, maybe Bob Dylan's vocal sounded rather odd way back in the early 60s, but combined with a blossoming sound and deeply insightful lyrics, the entire package effectively changed the world in which we now live.
The answer, my friend, is a blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
So, While it's always cute for one to bust out their best Bob Dylan voice, there's also something behind the nasally and sometimes incomprehensible sound that keeps us engaged. And given his resume, Dylan will always be a defining voice of rock and folk music, whether you like it or not.
Don't wanna be a bum, you better chew gum. The pump don't work cause the vandals took the handle.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
What a wonderful world.
Keep me searching for a heart of gold.
Number 1. Tom Waits. It's a severe understatement to say that you'll never see this man performing at the opera.
Vision for a good time that was done in your life.
But given his thrashing style and naturally gritty voice, Tom Waits represents the long and winding road of life. Since it sounds like he was run over by a train and decided to sing about it.
A newspaper sleeping bags blow down the lane.
All joking aside, Waits has been releasing music since the early 70s, and there's a reason why he remains an icon of independent music. It's what Tom Waits does with his voice and the emotion behind it.
Sometimes there's nothing left to do. Oh, but you got to hold on.
So, do you agree with our selections? Who has your favorite unique voice in music? For more mind-blowing top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.